Talk, talk, talk. Hi, I'm talking. Talk, 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 talk. There's a fire starting in my heart, reaching. Bringing me out the door. Check, 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 check. Check, check. Check, 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 check. Check, check, check. Talking, talking. My name is Tiffany Lytle. We have a show in just a couple minutes. It's called Refugee Reenactments. Very excited to have you guys join us. Talking, talking, talking. Check, 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 check. Sound check. We've got 360 cameras, y'all, so get close. Get close in the 360 cameras. We've got some blankets out here for folks. You know, it'll be fun. We've got some dancers coming out in just a minute. Woo woo! Whack D plus Lyndon. So we go, we imagine Imperial. We imagine.
Let's get a little farther in. I'll see you on stage, guys.
I'll see you later.
Wait, are you walking up? You're a little far, don't you think, bud? Aren't you? In like a roof of H. Oh my god, no. Are you gonna run? Oh, we don't have to go up the stairs anymore. I mean, yeah, but this is... And we have to hit a circle, so technically you should be the closest. Mizuki's should be the farthest. I hate you. Come on, come on. Change it up.
Check, 2, 2.
There's shade over there, but Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Lucy Burns. I'm a faculty member in the Asian American Studies Department, and I hope you're all well and enjoying this noontime hour. And we are here to perform refugee reenactments, music featuring the music of Tiffany Lytle, and we'll have about 30 minutes of program, and then followed by a post-show panel discussion. So I hope you can stay for all of it, some of it, but please, preferably all of it. And for those of you who are farther away, please come, feel free to move forward. We have some blankets up here that you can sit on. Please enjoy, and we'll stay for chat afterward. Tiffany Lytle. Hey guys, how's it going out there? All right, so some of this music is from my latest record. We're gonna start off with a tune called We.
Sacrifice.
guys, give it up for these dancers. These are undergrad student dancers. They killed it. All imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us, above us only sky. Imagine all the people living for today. Imagine there's no country. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for. And no religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world can be as one. Imagine no possessions. I wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger. Just a brotherhood of man. Imagine all the people sharing all the world. Say I'm a dreamer, I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll and the world can be as one. All right, give that up for J. Mike O'Neill on keys, guys. Beautiful. Imperial Benevolence. It's on the Cambodian Child EP. Check it out. lives. You won't hear that one online. It's not recorded yet, so UCLA is the premiere for that song. Woo! Go Bruins! All right, guys, we have one more tune left for you. This one is the most recent tune. It's called For Her, written by myself and my friend Allison Rollins. This girl has the weight of the world in her heavy heart, and she can't start. That girl wanted equality, human decency, and she never felt free. Free from misogyny, the reality of the land of the free. This man with ne'er a plan has privilege beyond the common man. Come together to become heroes of our own story. This pain to come back. Isn't life like a toy? Because words have no weight, and I'm just spreading hate. That girl with her diamonds and pearls, yeah, grabbed by her junk, because this foolish thought thinks it's okay. Fake news. That man with ne'er a plan, he will be stopped. 'Cause this girl knows the world, and she still has hope. How can we come together to become heroes of our own story? How can we channel this pain to come back? Come together to become the heroes of our own story. How can we channel this pain to come back? His glory. I want to thank you guys for coming out. My name's Tiffany Lytle. This is part of our Refugee Reenactments project. Give it up for the dancers. Now let's introduce the band. We've got Joel Whitley on guitar. Donald Barrett is on drums. Anthony Crawford on bass. And J. Mike O'Neill on keys. Give it up. How can we come together to become the heroes of our own story? How can we please stay for the panel afterwards. Have a good day.
We're gonna get started in about 2 minutes. Don't go away. And we're just gonna strike some of this music technology stuff down for a minute, and then we're gonna get started with the discussion. All right. Thank you all. All right, y'all, support UCLA, UC librarians right here. Thank you for coming. That is not even part of this, y'all. Like, this is just on cue. We're all together. So, more power, UC librarians. All right, you guys, we're going to get started with the panel. I hope I can take this in. All right, everyone. Thank you for being here. Thank you for staying. And please, can we get one more round of warm, loud applause for our performers, for Tiffany, the band members, all our amazing student dancers. And then the posters, I want to recognize Kyla Mizuki, who led the poster making session. And those posters are beautiful, and I'll have them talk about come up and tell you about it in a second. And it is part of this project. So this is refugee reenactments, and this is one of the elements of this project. And for this, we were really thinking, it's really about recognizing UCLA's, the history of protests at UCLA, particularly one of the largest or the largest campus college protests against the war in Southeast Asia in the 60s and 70s that happened here in this space and bled onto it was filled the Royce Hall with over 9,000 students, and that's just official record. We know there's always more. So that this is part of that impetus of this project. Again, my name is Lucy Burns. I'm a faculty member in the Asian American Studies Department. Thank you. And so we'll get started with this brief discussion. I just want to welcome our speakers, and actually they're going to be, this first round is just going to be kind of a self-introduction, so you'll get to hear more about what their how their work is relevant here and what they do. Just a little bit about me, my relationship to particularly questions around refugee experience and lives and dreams. I've worked, actually one of the first theater projects that I coordinated was a youth theater project in Western Massachusetts, working with Cambodian students, youth, Puerto Rican, and Vietnamese refugee students who come from, or young people who come from refugee communities and families. And that was a 3-year youth project that I coordinated. I've also worked with Tieda Productions on their project on Refugee Nation and global taxi drivers, and I've written about the work of performance and writers like Twile, and that's exploring the question and lives of refugees, and particularly about how that interrupts this progressive view of refugee lives, as if you left someplace and you went to the journey, you came to the United States, and then you settled. So that is all sort of what I'm trying to unpack, that it doesn't end with the successful arrival here in the United States. Now I'll pass on the phone to Dr. Jolie Chia.
Hi everyone, I'm Jolie Chia. I'm currently adjunct faculty here at UCLA. I teach in Asian American Studies, and I'm currently teaching a class in the General Education Interracial Dynamics cluster. I was a student here 10 years ago, where I was witness and participant to many memorable actions and student-led protests, one of which includes the 2010 protests against Schwarzenegger's budget cuts, right? When students took over Campbell Hall and put up laundry sheets, or put up bed sheets and spray painted these bed sheets and renamed that hall Carter Huggins Hall. And if you don't know that history, I highly recommend you look it up. I did my PhD at this other school in Los Angeles, and I'm here now, but my research focuses on how Cambodian refugees have been incorporated into the U.S. body politic. My parents came to the U.S. as refugees from Cambodia in 1979. I grew up here in Los Angeles, and so this place is the city and everything in it, everyone in it is really important to me, and has been formative in what I do in my day-to-day life. And I'm really honored, and I feel really privileged to be up here today.
Awesome. Give it up for Dr. Chia. Hi everyone, my name is Tiffany Lytle. Hopefully you guys got to see the performance that I was in earlier. I am actually a double Bruin. Go Bruins! Bruins for life. I did both my undergraduate and graduate programs here in the Asian American Studies Department for my MA. So look it up. I'm now a lecturer at UC Santa Barbara. I teach in the Asian American Studies Department, teaching Asian American pop culture. My research is in Cambodian American cultural production. So I like to link how the Cambodian diaspora has created art and what concepts surround their art making, why they create art. And I mean, me, I guess I should say I'm half Cambodian. Hi. My mother was a Cambodian refugee, and she came to this country in 1981. So I would like to pass off the mic to Dr. Tu Hong Nguyen Vo.
Hi Hi, my name is Tu Hung, and I teach here in Asian Languages and Cultures and Asian American Studies. And of course, I come from a refugee family as well, with this refugee history that goes back to the U.S. involvement in wars in Southeast Asia. And my research right now, my work right now, part of it has to do with refugee memory, the ways in which remembering and forgetting is organized. But also a small part of my work also deals with the intersections between the radical movements in the 1960s, including the Black Power movement, and how that intersected with Asian radicalism coming out of the colonial context. So I'm like so excited to to see the Tiffany's project like evolving over the course of her graduate work here, but also like the performance today is just so amazing, and I'm just kind of blown away. I'm still kind of recovering from that. So.
Hi everyone, my name is Lacey Abrego. I teach in the Chicana and Chicano Studies department, and I want to say that I'm so thankful to Lucy Burns for thinking of me, for thinking to include me in all of this. Our lives as faculty are so hectic that we don't ever get to enjoy so many of these really important events that happen on campus, and I am so moved by this presentation because much of the work that I do is just about documenting the fact that my people from El Salvador never even got refugee status and certainly qualified for it under legal terms and lived experiences, and that requires having to focus on the pain of it all so much. And it is incredibly beautiful and empowering to recognize the resilience and the beauty that can come from that pain. So I really want to thank you for the work that you're doing, and all of you for thinking about the connections that we all need to make, and the fact that despite all of that, we're here and we're making really important, beautiful things out of that pain.
Thank you all, and thank you, Professor Abrego, for actually joining us. I know, and she mentioned that it's just so, there's so much in demand in terms of everyone, students, faculty. So thank you for your time, and thank you for being here, and looking forward to this being, as Dr. Chia mentioned earlier, just being really a start of a conversation that we need to really have and keep having in collaborations. Before I have a very simple question to start with our panelists. I want to also just let you know that in the program, there's an incredible amount of supporters for this project. It wouldn't be happening without any of these, and I can't take the time right now to acknowledge all of them, but there's individuals and units that really supported this. So please take the time to read that and acknowledge the kind of support for this work. Real quick though, can I ask Kyla Worrell to join us, which she'll tell us very quickly about the posters and her reaction to the program, to the piece, and maybe that's what we'll start with. So Kyla will tell us.
This program, I am Japanese American. I don't have relationships to refugees, but it is a very important topic, and I as well have a lot of friends who are Syrian refugees from Germany. So that's kind of my connection to this project. But in making the posters, we did a lot of looking into photos of protests, mainly in the 1970s and 1960s. And so a lot of things came up, a lot of posters about Get Out of Vietnam, a lot of posters about a lot of wars and things like that. And I guess for me, what was very impactful is seeing years later how the United States still is in war. And yeah, so I guess it's kind of with the posters how that came out. Yeah.
Thank you, Kyla. That's great. Yes, I just want to mention, thank you so much, that that this is actually an ongoing research project. It's part of a project that Dr. Chia and I are leading called 100 years. So we know we're celebrating the centennial of this campus, and we wanted to have something quite different from what the rest of. But now I just wanted to I know you started Tung and. Alicia already started with their anything from that, and again, always feel free to connect it to your wonderful research work.
I just wanted to comment on the second song that you sang, Imagine. People, if not everyone is familiar with, right? John Lennon sings that song. But that song also occupies like a very distinct, it has a home in my memory, because when I was growing up, there weren't a whole lot of text, you know, either in the form of books or media or films about you know, my family's experiences or about Cambodian refugees, right? Except for Roland Joffe's 1984 film, The Killing Fields. And I think a lot of you may have already seen it. My guess is that many of you will have already seen it, right? But if you haven't, I'll tell you a little bit about the ending. I'll for you. Right? It ends with this scene in which, right, Cambodian figure, right, who had been left behind, right, the American journal ended by American journalist, right? He reunites with that American journalist who comes back, and they wrap their bodies in this very long embrace, right? And the American asks the Cambodian figure says, "No, nothing to forgive, nothing to forgive." And then the sun sets, right? They're on the beach, and the movie ends, right? And so you're left with this feeling, this false sense of forgiveness, right? And then John Lennon's song Imagine plays, and everybody feels good and fuzzy, right? But what Tiffany has done is she took that song and she sang her rendition of it, which I think was immensely powerful, right? For that performance to take place here, right? On a normal day when you walk through Dixon Court, you're just chilling with a bunch of squirrels, you know what I mean? But on May 5th, 1970, this entire campus was packed with people who were stating their opposition to the war, right? Today, right? Wars that are Cambodians, Thai, Lao people celebrated their New Year, right? And today, April 17th, is actually the 43rd anniversary the Khmer Rouge came to power of the day that the army was actually facilitated by the U.S. And so over the weekend, we heard that ICE was raiding the homes of Cambodians up in San Francisco, right? And so we really are trying to question the concept and the idea of refuge in the U.S., right? So Tiffany's rendition of that song was just, it kind of had me floored, and I don't cry a lot, and that's actually a lie, because anybody that knows me knows I